All right, so I'm just an idiotic, stupid dog. We were in the midst of laying down these Florida takes one after the another ad nauseum because we took a trip to Florida. So you can do Florida takes when you're actually in Florida. You know, it's not complicated. You just have to look around. Then you can see what's going on. You can say, this is crazy. I can't believe it. Anyways, the producer comes in. He says, these Florida takes. The take last night at 10:30, I had 14 takes. All day today, I never got a single take. It never got one view. Okay? He calls them takes. Everybody calls them takes. The take is the take. The view is the view. We don't get that. The adherent's the adherent. The producer's the producer. The producer comes in. He says, you got 14 views, and it hasn't had a sniffle of a view for like 12, 14 hours. We're breaking up this somber party. This is going to have to change, dog. I got something for you here. He hands me a script that he wrote out. It looks like he wrote out with a chicken's foot dipped in his own blood. I mean, this thing is scrawled. How are you going to follow this? No one could do it. I'm a young, stupid dog. I only learned to read like 2 years ago. I'm on death's door. I'm ready to die. I just finally learned to read. I mean, I'm not that good of a reader. The producer looks at me and says, just follow the script, dog. So I got quivered and I was like, the effect of Dawn Soder. He says, Dan. I said, okay, sheesh, all right, maybe we'll have a take two. The dog doesn't do too many take twos. And this is an interruption to the Florida takes, but you should check out the Florida takes. At least it should be a Florida commercial. I mean, but what we're discussing here today, boys and girls, is the effect of Dan Soder leaving Bonfire on Big J. Okerson. This is the treatise of a thing we could do, a documentary, a fake docu, a bio-documentary, where we could depict the life and times of Big J. Okerson, as seen through the producer's eyes, as translated by the producer. So, Big J, okay, according to the producer, Big J may be on his last legs. Too many cigarettes, too much drink. I mean, you can't put he couldn't put any plainer than that. 46 years old. According to Big J himself, less than a quarter of his life remains. The problem with the boy is he's fat. He's trying to hide the fat in Johnny Cash Black. Johnny Cash Black, don't hide the fat, Big J. I mean, the blousy drapery, the billowy sails. It's clothes. It's not a deceptive thing. It's not a cloaking device. You're fat. You can't hide it. He finally figured out how to comb his hair. According to the producer, he finally figured out to comb his hair and trim his beard. He is a sculpted, manscaped triumph. That's the producer thought. He really triumphed on that part of it. He seems happy on the skanks with his appearances. Low, they may not be as numerous as in yesteryears. He seems so happy when he makes an appearance on the skanks. But that's just because he gets to riff with his old buddy Louis J, a.k.a. the Mr. Gomez and Davy Smith. Davy's like the Davy. Davy from the Skanks like Davy from the Monkees. Everybody wants to hang out with him. He's like a cute little guy. Everybody likes him. The bonfire, okay, according to the producer, the bonfire is about two friends riffing, gut-busting laughter. But the problem is with Bobby Kelly, it's a talk show, a la The Talk Show, starring Bobby Kelly. Dan Soder's new podcast is blowing up. I'm just going to close this out according to the script that the producer handed me, and this is all exactly how he feels. Dan Soder's new podcast is blowing up. The producer is worried. The bigger it gets, the more Big J is going to spiral downward. Really, the producer, he just doesn't want any demise or any troubles of Big J to affect the skanks. He's hoping that Big J doesn't drown a couple skanks, because he's all about the skanks. He loves Big J. It's a reach out to Big J. It's like a reach around almost to Big J. I don't know if Big J, I could throw him a lifesaver. I don't know if he could throw, put it around his neck and get hauled to shore. We'll find out. I don't know if it's going to count like that or if this is just whatever, but I'm an idiotic, stupid dog, whatever.